A career in entertainment can be pretty exciting. You've got lights, you've got cameras, and a lot of action. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you even get to see the world. Today, we'll chat with two special guests who know all about building a career in the highly competitive field of media. This is what I wish you knew about the come up. Hey everyone, my name is Zeppelin Tillman. Welcome to I Wish You Knew. There are many careers in the entertainment world. There's TV, radio, music, online, and more. Some people even do it all. While there's no one way to making it big, there are some things you have to do before you take that center stage. Do you have what it takes? Here to tell you what they wish you knew are...
Hey, I am Waynika Walls.
Hey, I'm Torrin L. Cooper.
And so today we are joined by two veterans in the media world. The incomparable Miss Michelle Wright and the fantastic Mr. Furman Patterson, the host of DCN's hit show, The 202. Welcome. So please tell us, what was it like for you all coming out of the gate and starting in the communications field?
Wow. We'll let Michelle go first.
Well, interesting enough, I didn't go the traditional path. My dad really had dreams, aspirations of me to be an attorney. So after undergrad in political science, I was supposed to go to law school. Yeah. But I heard radio in a way that I didn't remember hearing radio when I grew up. Wow. Because listening to radio when I grew up, everyone sounded, you know, all smooth and laid back and chill and, you know, elegant and, you know, just something that to me it was going to be too difficult for me to keep up all the time. Yeah. And then one day I heard this guy going, "Oh my goodness, that was such a good song!" And I'm like, that's how I react to music that I love. And so I want to do that. Okay. And so I totally changed my thought and I strategize because I'm a person that kind of, I just figure it out. If I want something or want to do something, I don't care what anybody tells me. And everybody told me I would have to go to Selma, Alabama, or Biloxi, Mississippi for years in order to work in Washington, D.C. or a market like D.C. And I said, no, I'm going to figure out how to do it. And so I did. So I got in and I never looked back. I love it.
That's amazing.
Did you have to go to school for it? Did you?
My degree's in political science.
Oh, duh, sorry.
And again, I just did something different. But for me, I appreciate the fact that I studied something totally different because I didn't have preconceived notions or any kind of structured rules about how it's supposed to be done. And that's what I appreciate about being around young people because young people are so fearless, and it helps me keep that fearless curiosity and that curious energy that people say I have because I'm fearless about just trying and doing things in a different way. You know, again, I got into the business in a non-traditional manner, and I think everything I do with what I do is not traditional at all.
And so your co-host, I mean, Mr. Furman, can you kind of talk to us a little bit about you know, your path? What was that like for you?
Yeah, I was sort of all over the place to sort of, like Michelle, I thought I wanted to be in print journalism. Okay. So, you know, I ended up with, this is my hometown, Washington is. And I worked at the Washington Post thinking, oh, I'm going to be the Black Clark Kent. You know, I'm gonna be the little daily reporter and all of that stuff. But being there at the Post, it's like, well, my heart wasn't in it. I ended up doing I became an investigative researcher for Bob Woodward, the Watergate fame, at the Washington Post, and doing investigative research, both for his books and for articles. But I sort of enjoyed that more than I did the learning to write. But the good thing was that I did an internship with a TV station, and I said, oh, that's a way to sort of meld the creative instinct, which I always had. I grew up watching movies and TV shows and, you know, being like a film buff. And I said, oh, that's writing, that's creating, that's producing. So I switched up everything and ended up, you know, studying television production and broadcast journalism. So, one job led to another, internships led to this, that, and the other. So I learned as I went on the different things that, I practiced in college. I did it at some of the local stations, WJLA, WUSA, Channel 9, Channel 7, and then a national political talk network. But, the whole time it was like I was so glad saying, okay, because I love TV.
Absolutely.
I love it,
So-
and I got to do that. I sort of changed my mind, and I did it at the right time, so I'm grateful because I love TV. I love being with Michelle on TV.
So one of the things you just brought up was internships, and we've talked about that before, just kind of as panelists. Would you say that internships and kind of like those gateways of getting your foot in the door is important?
Yes, yes. I mean, internships are not only good for actually putting your hands on something. Not just other people, but technical things. Because in college, you do get instruction, but it's more, you guys know that, it's sort of more like the professor telling you, what this machine is or what that is.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
sometimes it's equipment that's behind the times. It's not the most up-to-date equipment, but the internships get you in there in the mix, to get some dirt on your hands, so to speak. Sort of valuable.
Something that the both of you all said was that you didn't necessarily start out doing what you are doing now.
Yes.
So like, how was the support for you? Because I know that's a big part of people's success. How was it from your family or from your friends and people? Like, how did the support help you get through, or did they support?
I think there's a song called Zero, Nada, Nothing. Absolutely none, because this is in some ways something that a lot of people don't understand. It's just such a kind of intangible, something that seems almost like a fantasy. It's unreal. And radio, which is one of the things that I began doing, once you speak into the microphone and it goes out in the air, it's gone. It's done. It's nothing really captured.
Yes.
I mean, unless of course someone wants to record whatever, but usually that moment is that moment, and it's done. So my family, no, they did not understand, didn't get it. It seemed too scary. They were actually terrified for me because they were like, you're gonna risk everything. There's no stability. I mean, what will you do, and how, and why, and what, And I wanted to quickly mention, the thing about internships. One of the things that I think has changed in this world we live in now, with so much access and so much, opportunity that exists. People are creating their own celebrity. By YouTube, by Facebook, by whatever. So, it's you just go ahead and doing it.
Absolutely.
People, again, we have access to equipment, to things, to social media outlets. So I would just suggest, just do it. Whatever you want to do it.
And there's so much more available now than it was when we were doing it.
So basically, whether you have that support or not, you should just kind of keep going for it. And we can, keep having this conversation all day, but we do have to head to a quick break. First, though, it's trivia time. Who is the longest running late night talk show host? The answer when we return. Hey, welcome back to I Wish You Knew. Furman and Michelle now co-host a show called The 202. Here's a taste.
Welcome to The 202. I'm Furman Patterson, here with my very lovely co-host, Michelle Wright.
Shout out to our young superstar DJ over there.
It's good to be home.
Yep.
202.
Yep.
The real DC.
Historically, DC is a great place for jazz. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We all know him as the 3-time Grammy-nominated singer.
Every word in this song's gonna be about you.
I feel like I am sitting here with history, because indeed I am. BBD, how y'all doing?
Good, thank you. I got to hang out with you.
I got to hang out with you.
So before the break, we kind of heard a little bit about your upbringing and all that sort of thing and how you got into the industry. But now we have the 202. So talk to us a little bit about what that experience has been like for you, right now.
All right, you first.
Well, the 202 is like being with a little bit of sunshine every day. I love co-hosting the show with Michelle, and it's a great show because we're excited about what we do, and what we do is to try to shine a spotlight on everything in DC, things to do in DC, people, places, great stories, restaurants, hotels, chefs, fashion designers. So it promotes the local economy, but it also promotes great things to do for everybody, for residents and visitors to the city. And we just have so much fun, and it's a joy working with Michelle.
Oh, and it's an absolute pleasure to work with Furman. Essentially, it's just a way for us to kind of bring our lifestyle to life. Furman and I, we enjoy life. We enjoy what we do. We love it. So we get to experience so many things. We meet so many people. We've developed relationships with some of these people. Some people, we will call famous people, but they're just like us. They just do something differently.
Not a famous
but you got superstars like, from Raheem DeVaughn to Kenny Lattimore to George Clinton to BBD. And these people are people that we have perhaps most likely interacted with our entire careers. So we kind of came up together, so, and I'm the biggest New Edition fan on the planet, let's tell you. So, when we get to see these people and, just they stop by our show to visit, or when he and I get to go to an event at a gallery and, we're just, we're sitting in the cars, we're eating the food, I might sip something and I'm like, I'm not a big drinker, so I'm like, what? And Furman will laugh at me. But again, it is for me a way of bringing our lifestyle to life.
So you all have experienced a lot. Any ones that's moments that particularly stand out over others, where you're like, that was a special experience, and that was a moment right there. Yeah, on the show, absolutely.
Well, to me, it's dancing. To host a show, be able to dance with George Clinton is a big thing, and Michelle and I did that on the show, so that's a standout for me. Of course, getting to eat is not bad either.
That's right. We had Dangerously Delicious Pie Guys. You've probably seen their food truck around the DC area, and they make savory and sweet pies, and they're just so delicious, just decadent.
Is there anybody that you all are looking forward to exposing the people to that maybe they haven't heard of yet?
Yeah, Michelle hey Michelle Obama stops by. When she stops by because she's in town,
And they live in the neighborhood, so why wouldn't that happen?
And when she's scanning and she's in the kitchen cooking and she's like, oh, the 202 is on. But I'd love to talk to Michelle Obama on the show. I don't think that's too far-fetched, actually.
OCTF for me, make it happen.
Speak it, King
Zach. Make it happen. Wow, no, that's absolutely fantastic. What would you say some of your past experiences and all the things you all have kind of been through, like how do you apply some of those things now to being on a television show? Like, do you find any applicable things that you learned in radio or that you learned in print that you kind of like apply now, like that are transferable?
I think probably the biggest thing learning in school and out is to project.
Okay.
Because it helps in TV, because if you project your personality, your voice, because a lot of people are used to speaking in a conversational voice where it's very low. But sometimes you've got to sort of reach out through the camera to talk to people and to grab their attention. So and Michelle's been in radio, so she knows you almost have to light a fire under yourself to sort of be, energetic and fun and open and all of those things. So that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I try to, one of the things I've remembered is just the rules of engagement. Although the rules of engagement overall kind of change, you make adjustments, there's one that just never changes, and that is the way you interact with a person. And so I try to always treat people like they're the only one that is there when we're having our moment.
Wow.
And to be so in the moment that I enjoy it. So. That's the biggest thing.
And that's important too, is because in this industry you do a lot of interviews.
Yes.
And you prepare for it, you research and everything, but like Michelle said, you have to be in the moment to have an effective conversation. You have to listen. You may have your questions, but you want to constantly listen to what they're saying, because in that last answer might be something that, you know, no one knew. They might be revealing something for the first time, or something intimate that you want to pick up on. Because when friends talk, you're sort of back and forth, you're interrupting each other, but you're sort of, oh, was that true? Tell me more about it. What was the name? You want your conversations to be like that. And if you're not really listening to the interviewee and paying more attention to your next question, you'll lose it. And the audience knows
BBB,
too.
actually. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So how do you guys prepare for the show? Before you guys, you know, they say action, how do you guys prepare for taping the 202?
Really quickly though, because really super quickly, we have to have this conversation when we return. But make sure that you tell us what you think by using the hashtag IWYK. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Our show is about what we as millennials wish others knew. Furman and Michelle, can you all please take this time just to, you know, give us that real inside information about what it really takes to kind of having lasting career. And before we left, you know, Torin was asking about preparation, and I think that's like super important. Can you talk to us about some of that preparation before you all get ready to, you know, to hit that stage?
Well, first I go into Michelle's makeup room and dressing room and sort of like pop her on the head a few times and say, wake up, wake up. No. But we do talk to each other before the show and sort of catch up on things, because you do want to get that energy going and that connection and that chemistry. So that's probably the biggest preparation for being, you know, live, so to speak, on the set. But we generally talk over things about what the topic is, sort of, you know, interject different ideas. We do a little fist bump in the beginning of the
like
show.
a ritual you guys do?
Wait a minute, what?
A ritual you guys do every show with the fist bump?
Yeah, that's
one we, about to shake it up, you know.
Okay.
And Michelle is the social media queen. So we're doing a little social media stuff in the beginning of the show anyway, so that gets me pumped up, and it sort of feels like she's talking live sometimes on one of those. You know, I'm not as social media savvy as Michelle.
And music is a big part.
Wow.
Music, no matter what I do, is a big part of my life, and it drives so much of everything. And in this industry, we all have to be self-motivated. Again, you may not have anybody, so you got to pump yourself up. Yeah, I can. You know, and sometimes it's a song that'll do it. You know, can't stop, won't stop.
There we go.
You know, it'll be something. You know, you might play "Shining." We were just singing "Shining," DJ Khaled. You know, but whatever it is, we get pumped up. I get fired up, and Furman, you know, he'll laugh at me because I'm dancing and singing and got music going. But it works.
And both our shoulders are going and all that.
I think I know for me, I always like to know, what would you all have told your millennial self or your 20-something-year-old self, knowing all that you know now? What would you tell yourself then, for people who don't know or are unsure about what they want to do?
Probably sort of connected. I would have said to myself, don't burn any bridges. Not that I have, but that's very important, because you know the industry, especially in Washington, the media industry is tight. It's you know, very, very connected. So you know, if you burn a bridge there, you might not get that ideal job or that into a place that you want to be. And always network. I wish I'd networked more, you know, when I was younger than I did. Because that's crucial, and you should be doing it everywhere. As millennials, on the plane or train from this place to another, you might be talking to an executive of a TV station, a radio station, a blog, a magazine, and always be ready with some conversation to them, because a lot of professionals, they love to see young people after it and hungry and want to do something.
Elevator speech.
So think of, I know it sounds corny, but elevator speech is correct. It's like always be prepared to learn something new, to introduce yourself, have a firm handshake and look them in the eye. And so that's fascinating, Mr. So-and-so. Tell me more about your business. I'm interested in this or that. So.
Okay, and I would echo the same things, but I would add that sometimes because of the way the world works, everyone is not going to like everyone. So you can't be worried with that, and you cannot be immutable in terms of like, well, I want that, I can't believe this person is resistant, being so resistant. Fight your way through adversity and figure out how to do so many other things, and that's one of the things that has served me anyway by accident, which I embrace. And if I could tell myself something, I would have told myself what actually happened. Keep a lot of things going at once. You know, I do about 6 things at a time, sometimes on any given day. But that drives other things, you know, and if one thing just, you know, falls down a little bit or whatever, then you got other things to keep it going and keep you fired up and you keep pushing through. But just fight through the adversity, tell yourself, you know what, it's okay, and keep it moving. Keep it moving no matter what.
Don't be afraid to fail at something, but, you know, give it a try.
That's right.
Yeah.
People see, you know, millennials as sometimes like these, you know, not mystical like people, but you know, like kind of not understandable generation. I mean, do you all have any questions, you know, for us or things that, you know, you've been thinking about or that you all wanted to ask?
I sure do. I always want to know from millennials. Do you have a plan? Do you think about, okay, I want to get from this point to this. This is my ideal career goal. So
I think there's an
the way
idea.
his millennial mind set up.
Yeah, that's like an idea, but you know, things change every day.
Yeah.
So while you know what you want to do, it's just so many things just come up. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. And then, like you said, like we have 6 different things going on at the same time, and there's no direct plan, but we know we want to do, just not how to get there all the time. And it may change, you know. So.
I know for me it's like that. I've went through the phase where I'm like a sponge and I'm just soaking everything in, and I'm like, I really want to do this, but I don't know how, or I want to do it, but it doesn't make me money. So what do I need to do in the meantime? For me, I know what I want to do, and luckily I'm blessed that my mother is very supportive. So I lack nothing. She'll always make sure that I'm good, but you just feel, I don't always have a plan, but I know what I want to do. I don't know how to get there. So that's how it is for me. Yeah.
I want to know how you guys see the world of media these days, because to me it's no longer you do TV or radio. To me you do media.
I mean, I would sum it up, it's a lot of opportunity. That's kind of the best way I would put it. It's a lot of different opportunities, and you know, you get out of it, you know, what you put into it. So if you know, you go hard for it, then, you know, hopefully you get that back. Because like I said, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. With the opportunity to go viral overnight, I mean, and we said it before, but technology, you can just get on your phone and you're automatically a superstar. So for me, media is like, it's not like a tough industry to get into, because even in your own home, you have a camera set up, you can buy lights, you can do it all on your own. So for me, it's just like so much opportunity, but to make it really big, then that's when you really have to put in the work. So.
And what is making it really big, though?
Being on the 202. That's when I know I made it.
Many times.
That's when I know I really made it.
Booking guests now.
Furman, thank you all so much for being here. It was fantastic having you all on the show. Please be sure to check out the 202 on the District of Columbia Network, DCN. And now, the answer to our trivia question is... David Letterman surpassed his friend and mentor, the great Johnny Carson. Letterman has hosted The Late Night and The Late Show for a total of 33 years.
Wow.
That's 6,028 episodes.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That is. What do you think kept him on so long? Like, what does it take to be on that long?
You want to do it?
Yeah.
And he had a wicked sense of humor. He's just.
If you want to do it, you can.
You can.
Thank you all so much again for being here, and the knowledge and the wisdom and the passion, energy that you brought. It's so much appreciated.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.